Welcome back, traders, to another week of weekly Forexcast. So, as always, I'm going to start with the dollar index and I'm going to get right to it. All right. So, we see the dollar is still bullish. I'm on a monthly chart. We still had a strong bullish close here, closing above this level of structure, right? Looking to the left, we can identify that was a previous level of resistance structure, all right, in the past. Also, it was a previous level of demand where price had a nice bounce. So price had a strong close back above there. If I go down to the smaller time frames like the daily, all right, and we can see price action is still bullish. All right, so price is looking like it could be setting up for some type of corrective move, right? Even if it gives us a correction or a pullback, my bias is going to remain bullish, all right, until price action shows otherwise. So if we look, always look to the left to go right. All right, we can see something like this. Price could slightly correct, all right, before giving us a continued wave to the upside. All right, looking to the left, we can see it reach this level of supply structure here. All right. GBPJPY. All right, so looking at GJ has continued this move to the downside. All right, it's been real bearish these past couple of weeks. JPY strength has been in as well. So if we look at where price is at, has pushed into this major demand level. Looking to the left, every time price is here for the most part, usually you'll see a strong bounce. All right, so at least these last strong moves. So, and we can zoom out and you can see in the past, this was also a major level of supply. So this is the key level of structure that we look at and we say, you know what? It's either we're going to break or bounce. All right. So we'll look and we'll see. All right. If price gives us some type of bullish price action, all right, some type of bullish indication, you know, we can look to catch a wave up. Similar to the left, our price started giving us bullish price action. All right. So I'll go down to the smaller time frame, whether it's like the 4 hour, the 2 hour, and see how price is going to react before looking for those buys. Like how we look to the left over here. All right, you can see price formed firm support here, you know, before showing you those potential opportunities for the upside. So we just got to react to what price is going to show us here. All right, because really it's still bearish. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if price just continued, have had a deeper move down, because even on the 4 hour right here, price closed with this strong bearish engulfing candle. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if price did something like this, because last week what it did, it was pulling up, basically just forming another lower high, and we gave us that extended wave down. Like this right here, we had this down move, correction for the lower high, continuation, and this was a slight pullback for another move down. All right, so this could possibly pull back, form some type of bearish flag and get one more wave down, you know, before any moves to the upside. So I would be patient. You know, this is more of a neutral type setup, all right? So I will have to wait and see how price is going to react here. GU. So GU has been continuing to the downside as well, going in line with that dollar strength. All right. So we didn't get much of a pullback after the breakdown of this structure yet. You know, we broke down below this structure. All right, here, and we can see that it passed the last monthly candle, closed bearish engulfing. So for me, that's showing that the sellers are still in control of this market. All right, bearish engulfing on a monthly, showing that it's likely we could see a bigger move to the downside. All right, so if we go down to the weekly, or actually let's look at the daily. So you can clearly see, even from this high when price formed lower highs, right, you keep getting these lower high corrections, right, before those continuation. We broke structure here, pulled up, formed this lower high right here, and then just continued to the downside. All right, so for me, I would still be looking for sales in this market. All right, we could go down to like the 4 hour. You could still see clear lower high, lower low structure. All right, so we have to I will be watching price right here, you know, to see if price could slightly pull back. All right, it could slightly pull back, but I would look for those continuations down. Now, if price comes up here and breaks above, all right, then that could be a sign that it could give us a deeper correction pullback before we get that continuation down. All right, so I would like to see how things open up this week. Probably wait to after the monthly daily candle close or going into Monday to see how price is forming. and see what type of opportunity it gives. All right, but overall, still bearish to the downside on GU. GA, so GA has been pumping. I think mainly because of that Australian dollar strength that's came in. All right, so we see where price is at now. It continued to the upside. Now we're pushing into this major level of supply where price had big sell-offs in the past. All right, so this is a level that I would pay attention to for a potential corrective move. All right, now this is a breaker bounce area. So for me, if I'm looking for potential sales, I will be watching the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour. Watch some type of bearish indication, some type of bearish rejection, a bearish price action candle or something like that before I start looking for my sales. Personally, I would like to see some type of strong rejection away, right? And then look for a pullback. Look for some type of impulsive rejection, whether it's a candlestick pattern or something like that, and look for some type of corrective move and catch that continuation down. Because if I'm looking for a sell on this, I would look to take it. We're roughly around 1.89. I would look to take it back to this level, which is around 1.8 to 1.878, like around here, back to this structure level. Because if we look to the left, it's also a previous level of support right here. So that's a key level, because once that type of level is broken, like it did here in the past, now you're looking for those pullbacks, maybe a retest as resistance for continuation. So we just play price action, see what it's giving us. But if I see some type of rejection, then I like for that correction down to the next level of structure. But if price just continues to pump above this level, all right, then I would say look for a pullback. If it gives you a retest and hold support, you could catch the next wave up, which would likely pump to this level. All right, will likely pump us to this level. All right, so we just got to play what price action shows us next. UJ. All right, so looking at UJ, I'm still bearish on this, but if we look at this on, let's say, the weekly. All right, look at this on a weekly. All right, price is in this major level of supply. Look to the left, we in this major level of sellers where price had big sell-offs, right? So the last, not this weekly candle that's about to close, but this candle printed shooting star rejection, all right? And that's showing me, especially seeing now on the weekly, strong wick rejection through supply, this type of candle, you can anticipate a continued sell-off. So that's what it gave us. It continued to break down some more, all right? Now, if we go down to the daily, you can clearly see price is still showing price action for sales, all right? Strong impulsive move here. Price had a slight pullback. I believe it's setting up to give us that continuation down. So I would look for the continuation move down. You can also look at this on the daily. All right, I had this daily trend line drawn, right? So I would look for this to come back down here around this third trend line, around this trend line hit, all right? Because if you look to the left, that's also a level of structure, previous level of resistance structure here. So that will be the target that I would look for. All right, so a way you can trade this, we can look at this on a 4 hour. All right, you can see right here, price broke down, retested here, continued down. Slight pullback again. All right, then right here, price is just ranging right here. It's really setting up for that next move. All right, so this is a way I can look at this. You see the 4 hour gave us this bearish engulfing right here, right? So I would like to see if price gives some type of correction right here, I would like to catch that for that continuation to the downside. All right, either that or, price could just, let me see this. Price could just break below to form this lower low first. All right, if it gives us that, you could catch something like this, a break below, retest, and then continuation down. All right, and that's UJ, but continue sales. EU, so looking at EU, all right, I can look at this on the weekly. And a lot of these, of course, is just in line with the dollar, all right? So the same way the dollar looked like it could correct before continuing up, EU is looking like the same. Looking to the left, we had a major close below this level, which is major previous level of supply or resistance, all the way to the left over here, major level of resistance. All right, so it had a strong break below. So I'm still bearish on this, but I would like, we could get some type of pullback, maybe a retest, and then continuation. I would look for something like that. Now, if we go down to the daily, price is forming a corrective type move now after continue breaking down is forming some type of corrective move. And I believe this corrective move is going to set up for that continuation down. All right. So we just have to react to where price is showing us. Now, looking at this on a 4-hour, this could very well continue from here. All right. I won't be looking to trade Sunday, but this could very well just be forming this lower high or this bearish type flag from here. This could be, we could get this continued breakdown here. That is a possibility. All right. So it really depends on how price action react right here. I think it's still possible that we get one more wave up. But we just have to react to what price shows us. But overall, I believe this is going to be a bigger move to the downside. All right. And if you look to the left, it's roughly a level of demand right here to pay attention to. So price started basically pulling back around this demand level. And if we continue to get a break below that level, all right, look for a pullback, maybe a retest, and then just continue to catch that wave to the downside. All right, so that's EU overall, still bearish. EJ, so EJ has also been bearish, similar to GJ. JPY strength. We look at this on a weekly. Prices continue to roll over. So I have this ascending, this upward trend line. Price had a strong break of that. We broke that, and now it's looking like we heading back down to this strong level of supplier resistance structure. All right. So looking at this, let's say on the daily, all right, you can see price continued down, and we actually broke below. Looking to the left, we broke below this level of demand, all right, or support. Right, you had a strong. Let's just look how this played out. So price continue with these lower highs, right? Lower high. So price had a break below, came up for the retest, pretty much continued down. All right, it's a bit choppy right here, but if we look at this on the daily, right here on the retest, pretty much formed this shooting star rejection on the daily. All right, so I believe we could get one more wave down, all right, before any more potential reversals. So right here, let's say on the 4-hour, price got this big bearish engulfing. So price could correct. On this correction, it could be just a pullback to just give you one more wave to the downside. Because looking at the daily or even the weekly, if price pulls a little deeper, like probably around 127, all right, pulls a little deeper into this level, this is a level I would be looking for potential buys, because if foreign bullish price action, this could give a bigger wave to the upside. Now, if this keeps coming down and breaks below this structure, then continue to look for those pullbacks, retest opportunities for continuation to the downside. So we just got to react around this level and how price is going to go. All USD. So similar to most of the majors against the dollar, we're seeing that dollar strength, So we see this last monthly candle close bearish engulfing, showing that the sellers are still in control overall. All right. Now we around this major level of demand, and price is slightly breaking that. All right. So if we look at this on the weekly, we roughly around here. It hasn't fully broken it yet, but with the firm break of this level, all right, with the firm break of this level, that's a sign that we're going a lot lower. All right. And this will be my next target, roughly around 0.67, roughly around there, around 0.67 support. All right, psychological. I will look for a target to reach there. If price continues to break down here, now we are still bearish. We can look at it on a daily, look to the left. Price haven't firmly broke this yet again, but we are still bearish. So we just have to be patient and see if price want to either continue to break or maybe give us some type of pullback first. You can see clear downtrend structure even here on the 4-hour. All right, it's continuing to give us those lower highs. All right, so if we want to give us a deeper pullback first, I would like to see something like this. Some type of corrective move up before getting those continued moves to the downside. So I would say either wait for that correction, or you can wait for price to break below this level. If we get a nice continued break below this level, then just continue to sell the pullbacks. All right, continue to do that. But AU overall, I will be looking for sales. All JPY as well, all weakness, JPY strength continuing. Looking at this on a weekly, price is clearly still showing bearish momentum. All right. You can even take this trend line on a weekly from this higher low structure to that higher low. And you see on a weekly, that weekly candle is breaking it. All right. Strong weekly close. If we look at the daily, strong daily candle close. All right. So with this, I will look for continued sales, but price could pull back some first, because with this type of bearish close on the daily, all right, price is clearly showing continued pressure to the downside. So for this, I would like to see some type of correction. You see how even on a 4-hour, strong bearish engulfing close. Okay, so you can look at the 1 hour. I would like to see this correct, form some type of corrective bearish flag, let price correct. On this correction, I believe it's just going to set up for that continuation down. All right, so look to sell that continued breakdown after the corrective move. And we could look for this to come. I would look for this to come back towards this demand level of support. All right, around there, anything could happen. It could bounce from there. But it looked like we could get that one more wave to the downside. CADJPY, still bearish as well. We're getting this strong shooting star type close. It's about to happen on a weekly. All right, if we look at this on a daily, still bearish. Always look left to go right. All right, looking to the left. This was a previous level of support, turn resistance here, right? So this is a structural level you want to pay attention to. In the past over here, it was resistance there. All right. So now we're breaking below this structure level. And if you look at here on the daily, this is a shooting star close that's about to happen. Right. So now I would still look for, give us a continued move to the downside. And if I zoom out here, you see this on a daily or even on a weekly, I have this trend line drawn. All right. From this low to this higher low, from this extension, extend it out. So it's looking like price is going to come down and revisit around this trend line. All right, where we could potentially get a bounce or a break and just continue to ride the wave. So you just react once price get around these levels. So now on a smaller time frame, look at the 4-hour, similar to some of the other pairs, right? You can clearly see lower high, right? 4-hour impulsive close, bearish engulfing, right? So if it pulls back, on the pullback, I would look for that continuation to the downside. All right. So either that pullback, or, if price just continue to drop here early, then we could catch an opportunity maybe on the pullback after that. All right. But overall, bias is still to the downside. Right. NZDUSD. So looking at this on a weekly, all time frames, I mean, it's still very bearish. All right. It's been straight bears and breaking this level, strong level of demand. Okay, so for me, it's looking like the bias is still to the downside. Also, this monthly candle closed bearish engulfing. That's showing that sellers are still in control. That dollar strength took over, right? So now, go down to like the 4-hour. Still bearish here as well. You see bearish price action, bearish market structure. So now I would say look for a pullback. This will be a potential opportunity for retest area, something like this, because you see price broke that level of broke that support. All right, formed this bearish engulfing. Okay, so I would say look for a pullback, maybe a retest there. All right, and look for that continuation. Okay, that's one of the areas, or price could pull a little higher, form a deeper correction and then give that move down. But overall, the bias is still to the downside. All right, so those are some of the pairs on my watch list for the week. If you're on the VIP, I will keep y'all up to date. Let's make sure we use proper risk management. Let the trades come to us. All right. And let's just execute. It is December, so I wouldn't be surprised if things slow up a bit, but all we can do is trade what we see and take advantage of the opportunities. All right. So thank you for joining. If you're new here, remember to like, share, subscribe. All right. And I'll see you all on the next weekly Forexcast. And also I will be dropping more content, so be on the lookout for that.